Hello, my name is Book Lovers. My name is Ash, and we are here for our second episode of Library Lotto. I'm having so much fun with this. Thank you all for submitting comments or putting in comments and numbers. It's currently the 26th as I do this video, and I'm hoping I can go to the library soon before the end of this month. So we're going to be choosing a comment again, and we are going to be choosing my next book for my Library Lotto. I am excited about this. I think I'm just going to cut to that and not talk too much in the beginning of the video, because at this point I already had episode 1 and then episode 0 that kind of explained all this. So if this is your first video, maybe go back to those two and it'll tell you how this works. But right now we're just going to choose a comment and we're going to see who gets this one chosen, and then we're going to go to the library in the next clip and see what book I choose. This is Itachi from Naruto, but anyway, yeah, let's keep, I don't think anyone cares. Let's just do this. I already put the link in. Let's see who's chosen for the month of July. Go Chelsea. We are going to be doing the number 23, 6, and 3. So just for reference, that will be right here. So this one right here that my finger's on, that's going to be the one we're going to be going to for this month. So 23, 6, and 3, I think that's the numbers. Thank you again everyone for commenting. I don't have a whole lot of people that comment, but that's completely fine. Honestly, as long as I have at least one person, I'm happy with that. For my next clip, I'm going to go into the library and I will be showing you what shelf that is. I'm going to try my best now to kind of like show you the whole shelf. Like I said in my first video, I will not be choosing the same shelves, or at least, sorry, the same bookshelves. So I will have to show you the entire bookshelf. I want to see what we pretty much missed out on. I'm very curious about what this is. I don't know. I actually have been through my entire library and looked at everything. There's a lot of bookshelves. I thought to myself, like, this would be really cool to get, but honestly I will not know until I get there. We're gonna cut to the next clip. We're gonna see what shelves and bookshelves and all that kind of stuff we're gonna be looking for, and I am looking forward to this as usual. Let's see what we choose, and I will be seeing you in the next clip and then talk about what I chose at the end. So let's do that right now. Home, and I have my 2 books with me. I feel like there's a theme going on right now. Number 1, first of all, I wear tank tops like literally every single day when I'm home because it is unnecessarily hot outside and it's summer. I hate it. I hate the summer. But another thing I like to do is I like to take 2 books out, but I always have one that I'm way more interested in than the other. I already know what I'm probably going to be reading, but I chose 2 anyway, just in case. So the one I don't think I'm going to be reading is, of course, The Dragon Riders of Pern. It's Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey, and I kind of cheated with this one. I'm not supposed to know anything about the books before I go into them and not know like pretty much anything, and I chose this. I don't think I was thinking, but that shelf had a lot of Dragon Riders of Pern on it. I just felt like I didn't have a whole lot of choice because of that, so I decided to try and pick it up anyway. This is like a classic fantasy series with dragon riders. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this. This is my secondary choice, so I think I will try reading a little bit of the beginning, but I don't have a lot of hope. My boyfriend tried reading this and he didn't really enjoy it, and I have similar taste to him, so not a whole lot of hope, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try like the first page of both of these books and then come back to you. But yeah, that is the first or second choice that I chose. And then my original choice was Crowwinter by Karen McBride. The thing that interested me in this was, first of all, the cover, also illustrations within the book, so I thought that was kind of cool as well. I also saw on the side there's a maple leaf. That means it's like a Canadian author, and this is actually a Canadian Indigenous female author, so I kind of saw that and was even more interested in it because I really would like to read more Indigenous authors. You know, like usual with Library Lotto, I don't know anything about the book. I don't know the genres about it. It seems like it's a mystery kind of. Nan the Bush, a name that has certain weight on the tongue, a taste like lit sage in windowless room of aluminum foil and old filling, trickster, storyteller, shapeshifter, an ancient troublemaker with the power to do great things, only he doesn't want to put in the work. We follow a character who is dreaming of a crow, and he tells her he's here to help her and to save her. From what exactly, she isn't sure, but her dad's been dead for almost 2 years and she hasn't reconciled that grief, but is it worth the time of the eloquent demigod? Soon Hazel learns that there's more at play than just her own sadness and doubt. The quarry that will be lying unsullied for over a century on her father's property is stirring the old magic that crosses the boundaries between this world and the next. With the aid of Nana Bush, Hazel must unravel a web of deceit that, if left untouched, could destroy the family and her home on both sides of the medicine wheel. On the back, there is words that are used in their language, and of course, I probably won't be able to pronounce them, but I find it kind of beautiful that it is incorporated in the book. So I might not be able to read it very well, but I will definitely try. I'm going to read a page from both of these, not a whole chapter, because I don't have the time for that, unfortunately, right now. But right now, I'm going to try a page for each and let you know how I feel about it. And hopefully, I'll continue to read this instead of Pern, but we'll see how I feel about this first. So let's do that and see where I feel from there. Okay, so I read a page from each of these. So the thing I noticed really similar between the two of them is that they have very interesting writing styles. So the Dragon Riders of Pern, it has a lot of, I mean, my boyfriend did tell me about this, but it has a lot of like bigger, more eloquent words. The scene also doesn't play very well in my head personally. It's not that I would never pick this book up, but I don't really find an interest in it while I was trying to read it. To be fair, I only read one page, like a little bit over a page, but still, like, it's not usually really something I think I would like. I might try this one day, I just don't think right now is that day. And for this, I read a page, and it was also very different when it comes to the writing. There's a lot of periods and almost no commas. I might actually show you. I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of sentences that are just like short and quick, and like it's just different. I'm not used to that kind of style, but I think I'm still gonna go with this. These are two female authors, which I really love, but I think I'm gonna go with this book mostly because it's something I might be more interested in, kind of. I mean, I don't even know if I'm interested in this because I don't know the genres. Actually, I'm gonna see if it has genres. Sometimes books will have the genres on this page, but it feels like there is not on this, and not in this book though. I'm going in completely blind. It's always just weird going into a book not knowing anything. It's just very different. So yes, we're going to read this. I am very curious on how it's going to be and if I'm going to enjoy it. I'm really hoping I'll enjoy it, but since this isn't really something I usually read, I might not, but we will try and I will update you as I go. This is a 330 page book, so it's pretty manageable. Anything underneath like 350 pages, it's pretty good for me. I'll be starting this shortly and I will let you know. I'll keep updating you. I might update every 100 pages since there's 330 pages. So we will do that and see how this book does. All right, hey, hello, it's me again. I am on page 170. Technically did update I updated 100 pages in and then I deleted that, I scrapped that, and now I'm redoing this. I am 170 pages into this, which is officially about the halfway mark exactly. So this book so far has very much surprised me. I assumed there was a mystery aspect to it, which I mean, technically there's a slight one, but this book doesn't really have a genre, I would say. It is very much focusing on, first of all, the main topic of this book is grief. We are following Hazel and her mother, who have recently lost their loved one, which is Hazel's father and then Hazel's mom's husband. So we are following the loss of Hazel's father and then her mother's reaction to it as well. Just reading them going through this grief was pretty difficult at like the start of the book. There's a scene where they have to go and get a headstone for him, and I don't know, it's just reading the way that Hazel and her mother handled the situation differently. It's just kind of it just hurt. It hurt. I don't know what's up with me in my library Lotto books being emotional. This is the second time in a row of that year for me. I love it. Love feeling emotion. It's not like I already feel it enough, but why not? Let's do it more. Currently, what we are experiencing is the grief. That's kind of like the main focus. And then we have Nanabush, which is the crow in this book. Nanabush is a shapeshifter. He's right now taking the form of a crow. And I think he is trying to get his body back. I think he might have been a human at one point. And there are 7 other beings, I'm not sure if they're called gods, but there are 7 other beings that he has to kind of appease in order to get his body back, or at least become human. We're following Hazel, her grief with her father, and then we are following Nanabush, who is showing up, and we don't really know why he's showing up for Hazel, but I'm sure there's a reason behind all that. The conflict in this book currently is, once Hazel's father died, he had land that was a mine. So he had this land and it was supposed to go to her and her brother. After he died, she expected this land to be going to her, but then she takes on this internship and she goes through paperwork and files and discovers information about the land that her father once owned and that she thought she was going to be getting. Recently, we've come to find out that there are a lot of people that want this land. Of course, it is land. There are different people that want it. There are people that have better intentions than others, but there's one guy who's just, he's not a very nice guy. We get a flashback with Nana Bush and we see that the father actually gives the land to the guy that we do not want to give it to. And we don't know if he was being manipulated to do it, if he's actually genuinely a better person because his ancestors were horrible. They wanted to sell the land and they called the natives on the land not very nice things and they didn't want to give them the money for it and stuff like that. This is on a residential land, so it's even worse because the people that are currently in ownership of it, I believe, are from Quebec. So this is set in Canada and people from Quebec are white. There is a discussion of colonization and how land is being taken by people who are white from native indigenous people, and this is their land. They are 100% entitled to it, but unfortunately, money sometimes gives in at the end of the day. Hazel just found out that her father, from what I assume I just read like 2 minutes ago, her father sold the land to this guy from Quebec. I think his name is Thomas. We don't know if he's actually like his ancestors are, but like there's a decent chance. So Hazel is very upset about it, which makes sense. This land was supposed to be hers and her brother's once her father passed away. So to find out that this man, this stranger that she doesn't know anything about, this white man, he has it now, she's upset about it. And she just meets him. Like there's a flashback of her seeing her father shaking hands with him, and then the next scene he gets introduced and I'm just like, oh my god. I don't even know what genre this would be, but it is definitely something that I don't know, I'm glad to have picked up. For one, I need to read more Indigenous authors. This is also a debut by Karen McBride, so it was pretty cool to read a debut, and honestly, she does an amazing job. I'm pretty impressed with it, honestly. I said that there's like no commas, and there isn't, but it somehow works pretty well. It doesn't read awkwardly or anything. There are words in this book that are spoken by the people of the Spirit Bear Point First Nations, and there's a note right here about it. There's a glossary of the words and what they mean. So as you're reading the book, sometimes words are thrown in and then there's chapter headings that have the names. It's really beautiful to see their language in this book. Right now, I'm going to see what happens with Hazel now that she knows that the land was transferred to Thomas and his family, which is very unfortunate. Not happy about it. Oh, I think it's raining right now. I love rain. Do you like rain? I feel like a lot of people say it's gloomy and depressing. I love rain. It smells great. It looks beautiful. I hate the heat and it's so sunny and beautiful, although the humidity is very unfortunate. I am so sorry. I'm being on a tangent. I need to leave. I'm going to continue reading this and hopefully I will continue to like it. I don't even know what I would rate this. Like obviously I'm not done, but I usually have a feeling of how I would rate a book. I don't know how I feel about this book. Like I feel like it's a weird book to rate because it feels like it's experiences I feel like could be realistic to some extent. So I don't know how to rate this. So we'll see at the end how I feel about it. Until then, I shall go put up some B-roll. I'm also going to my niece's birthday party. She's turning 3 this weekend. So I don't know if I'll have this. This will probably be a bit of a later video because I'm going this weekend back to Toronto, which is where I used to live my whole life. And I moved out recently. Very unfortunate, but I'm going to be going back down to Toronto and maybe I'll have footage of that. I doubt it. So yeah, let's do that. Let's have some fun. Let's go to the park. Let's show you my cross stitch that I'm currently working on. That's gonna take me a million years to do. And let's go and see what happens for the rest of the book. don't even know how many days it's been, but it's been a few days since I updated you last. I went to Toronto, saw my family, went to my niece's party. It's hot. I've been kind of sick. Like, I'm not sick like with a cold or, you know, so I haven't been filming much, but I'm here, I'm back, and I did finish my book, so let's do that. I'm late already with this video, and my library wants my book back. So before then, I want to show you my cross stitch that I've been doing. Obviously, if you don't care about this kind of stuff, skip. I will be putting timestamps down below. I started cross stitching, I think, around November of 2021. It has not been a full year yet, but I'm getting close to that. I'm a very slow cross stitcher, not because I actually stitch slowly, but because I don't do it very often. I have too many hobbies. I mentioned this, I have way too many hobbies. Between reading and video games and the other million things I'm trying to do that I can never get finished because I have too many of them to do. Cross stitching is something I enjoy. I usually do it while my boyfriend is like doing something, like he's playing video games. I like to cross stitch, or if I'm watching a TV show in English, I'll cross stitch. But otherwise, I don't do it very often. I'll show you my finished projects, and then I'll show you the ones I'm currently doing. This will also be pretty quick because, I mean, this is a reading vlog, so no one really cares, do they? I'll also try to link all of these below, all the patterns and all the shop owners, so that way you can find them if you want. The first one I ever did was this one, and this is from a Canadian Etsy company. I think he or they do a lot of Canadian themed cross stitch patterns, and I really love their work. This was a kit, so it had everything included because at the time I had nothing. I really wanted to cross stitch and I didn't have anything. I didn't know what to do, so I was like, I'll get a kit. So this is of it's like a little couch with a cat on top of it and a fireplace with some books on a bookshelf. Everything is on 14 count other than my latest project. I'm doing an 18 count, and 14 and 18 count is just a number that determines the sizes of the squares and of the holes. So 14 is kind of like the default kind of traditional number, and then 18 is smaller. Next, I went on Amazon and bought very cheap cross stitch floss, or like the string. And honestly, probably shouldn't have, but I was so impatient and I never really got to go out, like ever. I never really left my house. That is not an understatement. I think in 2021 and 2020, I left my house less than once a month. I have a medical reason why I can't work, and I hate it. I really want to go back to work. So I wasn't able to go to Michael's to get any equipment. So I had to buy it online, and I got it off of Amazon. I do not recommend it. I mean, it's cheap, but the floss or like the string is insanely bad. It's bad. With one of my other purchases, I got a free design, so I did it. I'll show you the first one because it's smaller. Here is my butterfly. This is the first time I ever did back stitching, which is essentially like the details, like the smaller strings. That is back stitching. I did a decent job. I don't mind it too much. I only used 2 strings. I should have used 3. Next, my biggest project at the time was something I found for free. So this was a free design off of the internet, and this is obviously from Pokemon, and I didn't have the exact colors, so I had to just use the colors I had, and that is of course Pokemon, sorry, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. It is really cute though. It came out pretty well. This one took me a long time, and I didn't have the colors for Cyndaquil, this one, so I had to use I had to make it a shiny Pokemon, which is fine because shiny Pokemon are awesome. This took me a long time. I don't think people realize, like, if you don't cross stitch, this by itself probably would have taken me over 40 hours. Like 40 hours. It takes a long time to cross stitch. You have to do every single tiny little stitch independently. Next, I have a really cute shop that is on Etsy as well. The cutest animal designs, I kid you not, the cutest. The first one I've ever completed was a koala. Look how stinking cute. It's actually really adorable in the hoop, when you keep it in the hoop, because it's a circular pattern. This design comes with 2 koalas. There's one like this, and then there's one with a koala with like a leaf in its mouth, his eyes closed. Honestly, if you love animals and cross-stitching animals, this shop on Etsy is it has the cutest designs. I have one more that I've completed from them. And here is the other one I've done. This is the red panda on the exact same shop as the koala. Here we go. There we go. I use only 2 floss with this one, unfortunately, but this one's a lot cuter and it came out with 3 floss each. Honestly, if you want to see more of these designs, I will put them below. I think I want to say like De Selva or something like that. I want to say that. I'll link it down below. I have the worst memory in the world, so don't trust me. I only have 2 more. I started kind of getting into the bigger ones. When I say bigger for me, this isn't that big. I don't do a lot of big cross-stitch designs because I get impatient. Like I want to finish them faster. I don't have a lot of like huge giant ones, but I might wait maybe one day, but I don't know. Currently, I have 2 that I'm working on currently. I try to only do 2 at a time. So I have one huge project that's probably gonna take me years to complete, and then I have smaller projects on the side. So this is my smaller project. It's kind of, you can't really see it very well because it's in a hoop, but here it is. This is like a tarot card, D&D cross stitch. This one, you can't really see the writing, but it says the fail. So this is when you roll a 1. This is a Dungeons and Dragons reference, and it's beautiful. I love their work. If you go, I'll also put their Etsy shop below. Amazing, beautiful colors. A lot of them are like this color scheme where it's like pastels. It's like the color scheme is just gorgeous. This is the one that's going to take me years because it is just huge. Technically, this is not like a big project in regards to the size of it. It's mostly a big project when it comes to the amount of cross stitching I'm gonna have to do. This comes with over 80 patterns. This was also from Etsy. I think it was about $25. There is around 80 different patterns. This is from Monster Hunter, so another video game. I like to do video games. This is on 18 count fabric. I'll actually show you. This one has like, I don't know if you can see it. It's like glittery. It's like iridescent. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the bottom one is 14 and the top one is 18. And as you can see, the top one has smaller squares compared to the bottom one. So that means when you are cross stitching, this will come out bigger. The design will come out bigger. And the 18 count will come out smaller with like more of a detailed design, kind of more compact. This is my big one that I'm doing. Here we go. So this is my Monster Hunter. This is my Monster Hunter design. So I've done 3 and I'm working on the 4th one. I'm doing alphabetical order, but yeah, we have Ignactor, Imatsu, Armor Shredder Shogun. We're currently working on Arzuros, which is like a little bear monster. Monster Hunter is a series that I've been getting into kind of recently. I'm more into World, and a lot of these are not World. Some of them are, but a lot of them are from Rise and the other games I have not played. But yeah, those are my cross-stitch designs. Like I said, these ones are going to take me years because there is over 80, and right now they're taking me about 2 months each to complete because like I said, I don't do it very often. I've been working on this for a long time as well. Yeah, that was just my cross-stitch stuff. I doubt many people care, but if you don't care, hoping you skipped it by this point. If you watched it, then thank you, I appreciate it. Cross-stitching is a lot of fun. I love the designs. There's so many things I want to do on Etsy, but no time for that. So anyway, we're gonna skip this and we're gonna go to my book portion because we need to get to that and finish this video pronto. Now we're gonna talk about what we came here for, and that is Crowwinter. I did finish this a few days ago. I believe I finished this, how many days has it been? It's been 3 days since I finished this book. I didn't have time to film because I was, like I said, not here at the time. And I've also been kind of really feeling off lately, but thankfully I feel a little bit better today. So I'm gonna talk about this book. So a lot of what happened last I talked about is pretty much what kind of continued. I think a lot of this book focuses on, like I said, the grief aspect. It also talks a lot about land, and that kind of became the main focus nearing like the middle and end of the book. So when the main character Hazel's father dies, her and her brother believed that this land that was left over by him, I think it was the mine and the quarry, and so they thought, okay, this is gonna be our land, we can do what we want with it, we're gonna keep it for the reserve, of course, because it means something to them. But then the character comes in and they figure out, yeah, this is not their land anymore for some reason. They don't understand why, and so Hazel goes on this kind of journey to figure out what's happening. Nanabush, who is the shape-shifting crow in this book, he helps her along the way to try to get her answers for this. And I think his goal in this entire book, for sure, at first I didn't know what his goal was, but now it was because he wants to transform back into a human and he wants mortality. He does not want to live forever. He sees immortality as kind of a curse in a sense. He wants to be able to live his life and die as a normal human would. So he's helping Hazel the entire time, and he's hoping that helping her will help him in a sense, but eventually it becomes more that he actually cares about her, and it's actually pretty sweet story. By the end, Nanabush brings her back into the past, and they figure out that the papers for the land were, what's it called again? When you take someone's signature and you copy it. The papers were forged, and they were not actually done properly and purposefully, you know, changed. So Hazel is able to get her land back and stop the man, or the Frenchman, from destroying the land and inevitably destroying the area around the reserve. So good ending on that. I just feel like this book was very beautiful in a sense of what it discussed, like with her father and the culture. There's a scene where they did a sweat, or they went into a area and they talked about things, and it was just a very beautiful book overall. I wasn't completely enamored by it, but I think that's just because it's not really my genre. Like I usually say, that's just how it is, and that is not the fault of the author at all. That's mostly just me because I don't like it as much as other genres. But I really did enjoy it. I am thinking I'm going to give it a 3.5, rounded up to a 4. It really does deserve a good rating. I actually don't know if I want to give it a 3.5 or a 4, but regardless, it's going to be a 4 on Goodreads anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I really did like it. I think that this book, I really hope the author writes more books. I would really be interested in looking and reading any of this author's future books, possibly. Like I said, it would just depend on the genres, but honestly, I think I would try it anyway. So I am going to go on Goodreads and check the genres and the rating on this. It has to be a pretty high rating though. Like, I can't imagine it being a low rating. If people give it a low rating, I'd be shocked. We are going to check its rating. We're gonna check it, all that stuff. And then we're gonna move on and we're going to choose another number. We're gonna be marking off the shelf that we chose from, and we're gonna be doing that. So let's go and do that. All right, a 3.96. I am surprised it's not higher than a 3.96. So it is fiction, Canadian fiction, fantasy, mystery, magical realism, adult, contemporary. Yeah, it is kind of an adult book. I think the characters are in their 30s. So, sorry, not their 30s. They're in their 20s, so that makes sense. I am surprised though that it is not rated like in the 4s, I guess. Look at people's reviews later. I mean, I could just do it now, but I don't want to be boring people. For the most part, we're just filming this just to see the rating and the genres, because I'm curious about that, and the reviews. So there's only 150 reviews and 919 ratings. Not a very, like, obviously well-known book, which I didn't expect anyway. It's not something I've ever really heard of. And this was published in 2019. So yeah, that is what it says on Goodreads. Now I'm going to mark it off this shelf, so I will do that now and put it up here on the screen. And of course, if you want to put in comments down below for the next number, please do that. Like usual, I will put the instructions on how to do that in the description, as well as putting up here the first video, or episode 0, that just explains this from the first step to the last step. So if you do not understand the written description directions, then please go to the episode 0. It explains it all, and I show you, and it's a little bit easier to understand. If you do mess up, like always, I will try to correct you and help you out, and it's no big deal if you make a mistake. I'll just try to help you and understand the numbers. It's a little bit confusing sometimes. Please don't choose the same shelves that have already been chosen, but otherwise, you are free to do whatever you want, and I am excited to try this again next month. I always have fun with this. So far, 2 books in a row I have enjoyed, so thank you for that. I'm sure my luck won't stay forever, but we will try that and hope for the best. Yeah, I think that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Hopefully I can get this up at a decent time period, because at this point I am late. Too much things have been happening in my life, and it just feels like July. Something's up with July. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for also putting comments down below and picking numbers. I mean, I really appreciate you, because if not for you, then I wouldn't be able to even do this game. And I don't always get a lot of like people watching these videos, but I always find it the most fun, so I don't mind at all. If you don't talk, if you don't comment, thank you so much for watching anyway. And I'm gonna stop saying thank you and stop showing my Canadian side and just say, have a good day, everyone. Happy reading this month, and enjoy your reading, enjoy your books. Goodbye, everyone.